Oh, hell no. You just crossed the line there, Sony. Hello, guys. It's NautoAce. And this is going to be the first MmGS vlog. Yes, a new title of 2019. So hope everyone did have a good new year. They enjoyed their parties and the other stuff. So with that, yes, sadly to say, the first vlog that I'm going to be talking about, I'm not too happy about it. So as you know, I am a fan of Ideal Factory's franchise. One of my all-time favorite franchise. One of them is the Neptunia series. I bought most of them, or maybe all of them, and I even double dip on Steam. And maybe in the future I'm gonna have to double dip more, especially whether on Steam or in the Switch. And why is that? Well, in the past I did talk about Super Neptunia RPG, or in Japan, Brave Neptunia. So I did mention that it was delayed in Japan until December 20th. So December 20th came and it was released. At the same time, I did do a video basically complaining and bitching that Sony, in the overall PlayStation company, for Lord knows the reason, all suddenly they're doing this weird policy of censorship, a censorship policy, which is to prevent Uber fan service. Yes, I gotta admit it. Some of the game, ever since the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, 3, and so on, there have been some PlayStation fan servicing on their Japanese game, because some of those games are anime-ish. But yeah, there is some sort of quote-unquote fan service. There's always a hot spring, swimsuit, bikini, scantily clad, you name it. Doesn't matter whether it's a Neptunia game, any other game, heck, Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, to some extent, even Street Fighter V, i.e. Armika or Kami's outfit. So, there's no different here. But then all suddenly, somewhere down the line, Sony had this policy to tone down the fan service to a point that it's censorship. When you talk about it, wasn't too happy about it. Setting Kagura renewal, the PS4 version has no intimacy mode. Oh my gosh, even Dead or Alive 3, the new Dead or Alive 3 Extreme Beach Volleyball, the new version, the Sony one, they got rid of some of the item, and again, no one knows what the reason is. The head of Sony corporate, not sure Yoshida, but somewhere the head of Sony in overall said, we're doing it for the children. It's a facepalm, because that was the same cliche that they said, because there's no crossplay. Oh, we're thinking about the children. Like, no, bullshit. Excuse the language to apologize. So, anyway, like I said, back to the main topic. Super Neptunia RPG was released in Japan. So, did it affect the censor policy? And sadly to say, yes. The gameplay wise, of course not, because there's no fan service on the gameplay. So the game itself is not going to impact. But again, the reason I don't like this policy is the principle, and it goes towards political. So link in the description about why I don't like it. So back to the game. Why was it changed? What was the censorship that happened? Sadly to say, 2 of the CG screen was modified. It was modified from its pre-release to the actual release. One of them is basically, when they showed this was Vert playing, of course, and you know her, she's a gamer. She was playing like all night in her, I guess, her shirt, sleeveless shirt, and in the panties. You can actually see her panties, yes. In the actual final release, they made the screen a bit closer so you don't see her panties. Okay, not a big deal, but I think it's still BS. But the biggest one is the hot spring. Yeah, there is a hot spring scene there, and they compare side by side from the pre-release to the real release. What was the difference? Easy, more steam. They put more steam than before. Again, it's a little bit of a big deal because again, you're taking away freedom. Because whether you like or not, Neptunia games, there is a lot of fan service. There's a lot of loot joke because you don't take the game seriously. You don't take the story seriously. A lot of times, especially Neptune, she likes to talk dirty. But, I mean, that's a different story there. But anyway, yeah, there was more steam. And beside Neptunia fans outside of Japan, the Neptunia fans in Japan, they were not happy. They were not literally happy that they did that. So, yes. So, was it really censorship? Did it affect the censorship? Or did Compile Hard / Ideal Factory actually intention to fix this, to adjust this? So, they want to say, hey, Neptunia is not really a fan service game. I mean, it was the same case with Street Fighter V, from the beta to the final game. And Ono said, well, we never intend Street Fighter V to be a fan service game, even so that you can see Cammy or Armika's buttocks, but that's a different story there. So, again, sadly, there was censorship on the Neptunia. I can't believe it. Sony did cross the line in this one, and I'm pretty disappointed. And the question is, if since outside of Japan, not only is it going to be released on the PS4, is it going to be also released on the Switch and maybe down the line Steam? But the question is, with the Switch and the Steam version, will it be also censored like the PS4? And if it's not in its original state, you know what? For the first time, I'm gonna double dip. Heck, I'm gonna triple dip here. I'm gonna buy it for the Switch and I'm gonna buy it for the Steam. And why is that? To show support to Nintendo, to Steam, to Compile Hard / Ideal Factory, not to Sony, because I may be a Sony supporter, but right now, I can't be a supporter with this bullshit policy rule. I don't know what Sony's doing. Again, they need to effing grow up. Kind of disappointing there. Really, I am disappointed. So, is that only one of the reasons that, well, let me take that back. So, yeah, there is a censorship. So, you might think, well, the censorship, so did it affect sale? Sadly, yeah, this is what I'm getting into. Besides the censorship, yeah, sadly to say, Brave Neptunia actually sold decently, decently in the first week, but after down the line, sadly to say, from what I heard, I read an article about it, and basically in Amazon Japan, Amazon.co.jp, Neptunia, the Brave Neptunia game, it was bombed. They bombed it. So basically what it means is it had apparently it had a decent review, but the user reviews were way different than the actual review. And then in Amazon, they basically did a review bomb. So basically what that is, you just talk negative about the game because you don't like what it is, whether the game is good or not, because of a lot of multi reason. Most of it, from what I heard, was because of the censorship that Sony did, so they were bomb reviewing it. But apparently also the game itself, well, it wasn't really that fun. Apparently the game's a bit broken. There was some mechanics problem. And remember, this game was developed in Canada. It's not actually developed in Japan. Compile Hard / Ideal Factory outsourced Neptunia to a Canadian company called Artisan. And sadly to say, from what I heard, it wasn't really that good either. So the game's sort of not good. Some mechanics problem plus censorship equals bomb reviewing. And basically, from what I heard, the sales for Neptunia were mediocre at best. It was good, like I said, the first week, and then down the line, it was just, yeah. I mean, if there wasn't a censorship about this game, would it sell better? In my opinion, I think so. But with the game's already not really that good to begin with, but and adding insult to injury of censorship. Yeah, good job, Sony. Good job. You're not doing sale. Heck, for crying out loud, there was another game that's based on an anime. I have no idea what the title is. I do apologize. If I do remember it, links in the description box. Alright, so a little bit of insert of the anime I just mentioned. And the anime basically that I mentioned that had a poor sale because rumor has it due to censorship is called Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. Or in Japan, Yuragi Sono Yuna-san. So basically it's an anime. It's about hot spring, their spirits, but that's not really the point of this video or this topic. But I just want to mention what the title is. And like I said, the title is called Yuna and the Haunted Hot Spring. The game also was heavily censored to a point that it sold super poorly. Again, I hate to say it, but sometimes fan service sells. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is. I mean, look at the early Neptunia game. Believe it or not, I mean, there was some fan service. MK2 had a hot spring. Victory, there's a scene taking a shower. Neptunia PP, there's a shower scene. V2, same deal. You name it. There's always going to be something about a fan service shower scene or hot spring. But, you're trying to censor that. And that's what happened, kind of disappointed. Yeah, I mean, that's my opinion about it. I mean, like, really sucks. Sony, really effing grow up. Well, can this game be fixed? Well, of course, via update, you can fix the game, including the CG graphics. So, I hope that can happen in 2019. Hopefully Sony finally grows up and say, okay, this policy is not working. People are pissed. Your loyal fans are pissed. You're trying to sell this to the kids, trying to tell the normal parent to say PlayStation 4 is for kids and it's not working, and they realize that they're not making any money. Then maybe they'll say, you know what, we're going to reverse the policy. You know what, no more censorship. Just don't go over the top, which is they shouldn't. They never did, but whatever. I don't know what Sony's thinking, and everything is handy-dory. And then maybe via update is a director's cut. Then finally they can say, oh, finally we fixed all the CG scene. We add in the intensity mode for the PS4 version of Senran Kagura. Whatever, hopefully. But right now it's Sony's on this crusade of anti-censorship, and it's kind of pissing me off. And yeah, it sucks, man. Like I said, I was a big Sony supporter, but maybe at this point on, I'm gonna have to go to Switch, go to Nintendo, and even Steam. I mean, I've been starting to buy a lot of Neptunia games on Steam because I just bought a new computer, and V2R on Steam and on my computer can run in 60 frames, so I'm happy about that one. Sadly, not on the PS4. And I don't know about because I need to get a Pro one of this day, and hopefully, but for the time being, I'm happy with the Steam version. 60 frame. I know there was a lot of bugs, but I have not really. I think I only encountered it once. That's it, just once. But hey, whatever. So we'll just have to wait and see how will the US version, the outside. If it's not going to be out, it's probably going to be April or May. It'll be a while before it gets released, because the next game that Ideal Factor is going to do is Death and Request, and Ideal Factor representative already said that there's not any changes. There's no changes to the game, no censorship, nothing. However, there was November was an Ideal Factory press release event. So that's going to be part 2 on this video. I'm going to give my thoughts about those because they announced 3 games that's going to come out in 2019. Of course, that's including also Brave Neptunia or Super Neptunia RPG, so that's actually 4 games. And there's some controversy a bit. I mean, there's even one that I'm not too happy, but that'll be in part 2. So what I think about the overall right now with Brave Neptunia in Japan, or Neptunia, the game. It is kind of disappointing because I pre-ordered the game and I'm hyped about this game. I can't wait to play it in 2019. I don't know what's going to come out because right now, still gotta wait for Dead and Request to be released. Then maybe they'll talk about that. Maybe there's good new info. Maybe there's going to be something. Hopefully. So, I don't know. But right now I'm disappointed that this is happening. Maybe it can change. Maybe there's an update that they can change this. We'll just have to wait and see. But I'm really crossing my finger. Sony, do what Nintendo did. Look at what Nintendo did. They did that policy thing. They did that censorship policy, and it bit them in the ass. They got shot in the. They shoot themselves in the foot. They bit in the ass. Whatever. They learned their lesson with the Switch, and they are now anti-censor. That's why Kaga Reflection, boom, it's on the Switch, and they have a lot of games that, believe it or not, are very, very fan servicey. I might even just consider getting on the Switch. Switch just needs a system-based achievement and you should be good to go, but whatever. But like I said, right now Sony's really just being a dumbass. I don't know what to say. Disappointed. I feel disgust about it. Hopefully this thing will change. So yeah, those are my thoughts on, as of right now, Brave Neptunia RPG, Super Neptunia RPG in America. Right now, I'm disappointed of what it offers. Hopefully, the US version, maybe there's something more than better. So I think better than the Japanese. I'm crossing my finger, but I also kind of doubt it. We'll just have to wait and see. Like I said, they said it's going to be spring, so it could be April, it could be May. It'll be a while. I mean, it'll be a while outside, so it is what it is. Kind of really sad. With that, I'll see you guys later.